Aquarius, what if the abundance you have been waiting for is not some distant event on the horizon, but a series of quiet shifts that are already happening inside you right now? What if the changes required for your next season of prosperity have already begun, unfolding beneath the surface of your daily life like roots spreading underground before the flower ever breaks through the soil? That is exactly what I want to talk about today, because the energy around your sign is pointing towards something remarkable, and there are 7 specific shifts that may be the very things that move you into a completely new phase of abundance. Gate 1. The first shift that can move you into a new phase of abundance is a fundamental change in the way you relate to patience. For most of your life, Aquarius, patience may have felt like something forced upon you, a burden you carried because you had no other choice. You waited for things to get better. You waited for opportunities to arrive. You waited for life to finally reward you for all the effort you had been putting in. But that kind of patience, the kind born from resignation, is very different from the patience that is now emerging inside you. This new patience is not about waiting helplessly. It is about trusting actively. It is the difference between sitting in a dark room hoping someone will turn on the light, and sitting in that same room knowing with absolute certainty that the sun is about to rise. You can feel this shift happening, can you not? There is a new quality to your waiting, a groundedness that was not there before. You are no longer anxious about the timing of things. You are beginning to understand that everything arrives at precisely the right moment, and that your role is not to rush the process but to prepare yourself to receive what is coming. This shift in your relationship with patience is more powerful than you might realize. The universe reads your energy, Aquarius, and when you move from anxious waiting to trusting patience, it responds by accelerating the very things you are waiting for. It is one of the great paradoxes of abundance. The less desperately you need it to arrive, the faster it comes. And right now, that paradox is working in your favor. Your energy is shifting from grasping to receiving, from chasing to attracting, from forcing to flowing. And in that flow state, prosperity finds you far more easily than it ever could when you were running after it. Let this new patience settle into your bones. Let it become part of who you are, not just what you practice. Because this single shift, this movement from desperate hope to quiet confidence, has the power to reshape your entire financial landscape. The universe rewards those who trust its timing. And right now, Aquarius, your trust is deeper than it has ever been. That is not an accident. That is the first sign that abundance is already in motion on your behalf. Gate 2. The second shift is a growing willingness to release control over how prosperity arrives. Aquarius, you have always been someone who likes to understand how things work. Your mind is brilliant, analytical, constantly seeking patterns and explanations. And while that quality has served you well in many areas of your life, it has also created a limitation when it comes to abundance. You have been so focused on figuring out how prosperity should arrive that you may have blocked the very channels through which it was trying to reach you. Think about it carefully. How many times have you decided in advance what form your abundance should take? You imagined it would come through a specific job, a specific investment, a specific person, a specific plan. And when it did not arrive through that exact channel, you felt frustrated, disappointed, maybe even betrayed by the universe. But the truth is, the universe was never ignoring you. It was trying to deliver your prosperity through a different door, one you could not see because you were so focused on the door you had chosen. But now, something is loosening inside you. That rigid grip on outcomes is beginning to relax. You are starting to understand that the universe has far more imagination than you do, and that the best things in your life have often arrived in ways you never could have predicted. The job you did not plan for, the connection you did not expect, the idea that came to you at 3 in the morning. These were all examples of the universe delivering abundance through unexpected channels. And they worked precisely because you were open enough in those moments to receive them. This shift, this willingness to let go of how and simply trust that, is creating enormous space in your energy field for new forms of prosperity to enter. You do not need to have every step mapped out. You do not need to know the exact path your abundance will take. All you need is the willingness to say, I trust that it is coming, and I am open to however it arrives. That single statement, spoken with genuine conviction, is worth more than any financial plan you could ever create, because it aligns you with the infinite creativity of the universe, which is far more resourceful than any strategy your mind could devise. Gate 3. The third shift involves your relationship with your own worthiness. And this one, Aquarius, may be the most important of all. Because beneath every financial struggle, beneath every missed opportunity, beneath every moment of scarcity you have ever experienced, there has been a quiet question hiding in the shadows of your heart. Do I truly deserve this? For years, maybe decades, a part of you has questioned whether you are worthy of genuine prosperity. Not the kind of prosperity that just covers the basics, but the kind that overflows, the kind that allows you to live with ease, generosity, and freedom. Something inside you has been whispering that abundance like that is for other people, people who are smarter, luckier, more deserving. And that whisper, as quiet as it is, has been one of the most powerful barriers between you and the financial peace you have been seeking. But that whisper is growing fainter now. You are beginning to see through the lie it has been telling you. You are starting to realize that worthiness is not something you earn through suffering. It is something you were born with. Every single person who arrives on this earth arrives worthy of abundance, worthy of love, worthy of peace. Including you, Aquarius. Especially you. The years you have spent working, caring for others, showing up day after day, even when every part of you wanted to give up. Those years did not make you more worthy. You were always worthy. Those years simply proved how strong you are. This shift in your sense of worthiness is like removing a dam from a river. The water, the abundance, was always there, pressing against the barrier, wanting to flow. But the dam of unworthiness kept it held back. And now, as that dam begins to crumble, as you begin to truly accept that you deserve good things, the flow is starting. Slowly at first, maybe just a trickle. But it will build, Aquarius. It will build into a steady stream and eventually into a powerful current of prosperity that touches every area of your life. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Gate 4. The fourth shift is something happening in the way you use your time. You are beginning to see time differently, Aquarius, and this is creating a profound ripple effect in your relationship with abundance. For much of your life, you may have treated time as an enemy, something that was always running out, always slipping through your fingers, always moving faster than you could keep up with. But now, a new understanding is dawning. You are beginning to realize that time is not something that happens to you. It is something that flows through you, and you have far more influence over its quality than you ever imagined. You are starting to make different choices about how you spend your hours. You are giving less time to activities that drain you and more time to activities that fill you up. You are saying no more often, and each no is creating space for a more meaningful yes. You are beginning to understand that how you spend your time is how you spend your life, and that a life well spent is one of the richest forms of prosperity there is. This shift is not just about time management or productivity hacks. It is about a fundamental reorientation of your priorities. You are moving away from the belief that busyness equals worthiness. You are releasing the idea that rest is laziness. You are embracing the understanding that the most prosperous people in the world are not the ones who work the hardest, but the ones who work the most aligned. And alignment for you means doing what matters to your soul, not just what pays the bills. As you continue to make this shift, you will notice something remarkable. The time you invest in aligned activities begins to generate returns that far exceed what your previous efforts produced. Opportunities show up more easily. Solutions present themselves more quickly. The right people appear at exactly the right moment. This is not magic, Aquarius, though it may feel like it. This is the natural result of living in alignment with your true purpose. When you honor your time, the universe honors your effort. And when both of those things are working together, prosperity is not just possible. It is inevitable. Gate 5. The fifth shift is happening in your relationship with gratitude. Now, I know what you might be thinking. You have heard about gratitude 1,000 times. You have been told to count your blessings, to focus on what you have rather than what you lack, to write in journals and say thank you to the sky. And perhaps you have tried some of those things, and they felt hollow, forced, like going through the motions of a practice that never quite connected with your heart. But what is happening now is different. The gratitude that is emerging inside you is not a practice. It is a recognition. It is not something you are doing. It is something you are feeling naturally and spontaneously, without any effort or instruction. You are looking at your life, your real life with all its imperfections and struggles, and you are feeling a warmth that surprises you. You are grateful for your health, even if it is not perfect. You are grateful for the roof over your head, even if it is not your dream home. You are grateful for the people who care about you, even if the circle is smaller than you wish it were. This organic, effortless gratitude is one of the most powerful signals of approaching prosperity, because it means your vibrational frequency is rising without you even trying. When you feel genuine gratitude for what you have, you are sending a signal to the universe that says, "I recognize abundance in my life." And the universe, hearing that signal, responds by sending more of what you are recognizing. It is a cycle that feeds itself, growing stronger with every moment of authentic appreciation. Do not force this gratitude. Do not try to manufacture it with lists and affirmations if they do not feel real. Instead, simply allow yourself to notice the good things that are already present in your life. Notice the sunset. Notice the laughter. Notice the warmth of a blanket on a cold evening. Notice the fact that you are here, alive, breathing, still capable of dreaming and hoping and loving. Every one of those things is a form of abundance, and every time you notice one, you are strengthening the magnetic pull that draws even more abundance toward you. Gate 6. The sixth shift is a change in the way you handle fear. Fear has been your constant companion for a long time. Aquarius. Fear of not having enough. Fear of losing what little you have. Fear of making the wrong decision. Fear of being too old to start again. These fears have been whispering in your ear for years, and they have shaped your choices in ways you may not even fully realize. They have kept you small, kept you safe, kept you inside a comfort zone that was not actually comfortable at all. But something is shifting in your relationship with fear. You are not becoming fearless. No, that would be neither possible nor wise. What you are becoming is fear-brave. You are beginning to feel the fear and move anyway. You are starting to recognize that fear is not a stop sign. It is a signal that something important is happening, that growth is near, that the edge of your comfort zone is exactly where the magic begins. This shift is showing up in small ways at first. Maybe you spoke up about something that used to keep you silent. Maybe you said yes to an opportunity that your old self would have immediately rejected. Maybe you allowed yourself to imagine a different future without immediately shutting the vision down with a list of reasons why it could never work. These small acts of courage may seem insignificant, but they are not. Each one is a crack in the wall that fear has built around your prosperity, and every crack lets in a little more light. As you continue to move through fear rather than being stopped by it, you will discover something beautiful. The things you were most afraid of rarely turn out to be as terrible as you imagined. And the rewards on the other side of fear are almost always greater than you expected. Prosperity lives on the other side of the risks you have been avoiding. Not reckless risks, not foolish gambles, but the kind of thoughtful, heart-guided risks that come from trusting yourself enough to try something new. That trust is growing inside you right now, Aquarius, and it is about to change everything. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Gate 7. The seventh and final shift is perhaps the most beautiful of all, because it is the shift that holds all the others together. It is the shift in what you believe is possible for the rest of your life. For years, Aquarius, you may have carried a quiet resignation about your future. You told yourself that the best years were behind you, that the window for real change had closed, that the most you could hope for was to maintain what you had rather than grow toward something greater. And in a world that worships youth and dismisses wisdom, it is no wonder you believed those things. But deep inside you, in a place that no amount of disappointment could ever fully silence, there has always been a flame, a knowing that you were meant for more, a stubborn, relentless conviction that your story is not over, that the most meaningful chapters are still waiting to be written. And right now that flame is growing brighter. Not because someone told you to think positively, not because you read an inspiring quote, but because the universe itself is fanning the flame, sending energy and opportunity and signs that all point in one direction: forward. The belief that your best days are ahead of you is not naive optimism. It is spiritual intelligence. It is the recognition that every experience you have had, every lesson you have learned, every pain you have survived has equipped you with a level of wisdom and strength that your younger self could never have imagined. And that wisdom, that strength, is the foundation upon which your greatest prosperity will be built. Not in spite of your age, but because of it. not despite the years but enriched by them. This shift in your belief about what is possible is the key that unlocks everything else. When you truly believe that prosperity is available to you right now at this stage of your life, all the other shifts become natural. Patience comes easily. Control releases itself. Worthiness feels obvious. Time reorganizes around your priorities. Gratitude flows without effort. And fear loses its power over your choices. All because you dared to believe that the universe was not done with you yet. And it is not, Aquarius. Not even close. So let this be the moment you remember, the moment you stopped counting yourself out and started counting yourself in. The 7 shifts I have described are not things you need to force or manufacture. They are already happening inside you. All you need to do is recognize them, honor them, and allow them to carry you toward the abundance that has always had your name written on it. The universe is moving on your behalf, Aquarius. The question is no longer whether prosperity is coming. The question is whether you are ready to receive it. And based on everything I see in your energy right now, you are more ready than you have ever been. You have 2 options after this video: close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.